under? Step over there. Suspected under.
What is he being suspected under? I don't even know what that means.
Back up. Come on, back here. Stay on the ground. Stay on the ground.
These officers in this next video operate a little bit faster than I recommend.
Show me your hands now.
In my personal opinion, I think that the officers should have stayed back, wait for other officers to arrive, because you're dealing with a homicide suspect.
Look, before you go reach any guns or anything in the car? No, sir. Perfect. Go ahead, grab it for him. So right now, you're just being detained, okay?
Stop! Get out! On your way!
So you guys see how fast that happened? It literally happened in a blink of an eye.
We wish it wouldn't have transpired that way, and it did. And my nephew, he made a decision that he should not have made.
Man, I love this family. They are taking accountability for the actions of their family member. We're gonna see right now the part where the attorney kind of gives a depiction of what they witnessed in the video. If we saw more of this, I guarantee you we wouldn't see all the nonsense that we see in our community. Let's watch the rest of it. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Ryan Tillman Show. It's your boy as always. Thank you so much for subscribing. Do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and most importantly, turn that notification bell on. We got a great show today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break down a video from one of my favorite shows, On Patrol Live, which, yes, I used to be a guest co-host on that show. We're going to compare two high-risk traffic stops, and last but not least, I'm going to show you guys what true accountability looks like. So let's just jump right into it because today's episode is not going to fail. Let's watch.
So I'm gonna stop this male with the shopping cart. I don't know what this individual is doing next to him, but either way, he's walking the street where sidewalks are provided. So that's fine. Step over there. You're not involved. Okay, that's fine, and I'll explain everything to you. That's fine. I will talk to you in a minute. First, I want to talk to your brother. Control 3DP 25. We can make this 2-time. Second BMA, gray shirt, black shorts. And give me code 9. He's being argumentative. Hey, sir, step in front of my car. Hey, if you're going to instruct my investigation, you will go to jail for obstructing.
What is he being investigated under?
Step
what is
over
he
there.
being suspected under?
Go over there.
No. What is he being suspected for?
Hey,
what is he being?
Sir, you step in front of my car.
No, you don't got to. No,
hey,
you don't got to do that. What is he being suspected for?
You sit over there.
What is he being suspected for, sir?
Go stand over there. If you do not go there, you will go to jail.
Where's your supervisor?
Okay. Go.
I want your supervisor.
Now you're being
What is he being suspected under? I don't even know what that means. Maybe I should have ChatGPT tell me what that means. What's he being suspected under? You know what? Stop being a YouTube lawyer. Just comply with what the officers have to say and everything else will go kosher. But it's usually probably because they are trying to hide something. Back to the video.
I want your supervisor.
Now you're being
No. Don't touch.
Hey,
you see this?
Yeah,
you see this?
Leave it alone.
Back up. Back here. No.
Get back up, dog.
Pass this way.
Back up, dog. What's up?
Stop him. No, he didn't do nothing wrong. No.
Get on the ground.
No.
Get on the ground.
Just chilling.
Stay on the ground. Stay on the ground. Stay on the ground.
I was too handy.
Stay on the ground. Stay on the ground. Code red. Taser deployed.
Take your ass right now. Lay down.
Sergeant's already hit me.
Lay down. Lay down.
Stay there. Do not move.
No.
Control. 3D 25. We're gonna have both of them on the ground. It's 2-on-1, dog.
Man, got a little dirty. Let's take a break. You're good.
So that was crazy. I mean, I don't even know what that guy was talking about when he was talking about was he being under arrest for or whatever it's called. That dude didn't know what he was saying. But what I will say is the officer did a great job recognizing that these guys were not going with the plan and that ultimately he was going to have to go hands-on. It appears that the officer trains because as soon as he recognized he was going to have to go hands-on, obviously he put his hands up, but then he goes and does a takedown. Now, I don't know if this officer changed jiu-jitsu, but it appears that he might because he did go straight for the takedown, but it was a very, very scary situation for him to be in. The one suspect tried to body slam that officer, but the officer, he hung in there and he did what he had to do to get out of that scenario. And that's one of the things that we in the academy we train is this, what's it called? The will to survive. That officer knew like, hey, I got to go home. And so he handled the business. The other thing that I want to highlight is the fact that the Good Samaritans intervened when they saw that this officer was in trouble. There are still some good people out there that are willing to help officers out. Now, I will say if you're a civilian watching this, I don't always recommend you helping officers out just because you don't know what you're dealing with. But if you see an officer like this that is completely outnumbered and outmanned, then yes, if you have that ability to help out, please do, because, he's waiting for his backup officers to arrive. But at the end of the day, the officer did what he had to do. He had to handle business, but nonetheless, it was a scary situation to say the least. And man, I remember being on the On Patrol Live show. It was a great show to be on. If you guys haven't checked that video or check that show out, make sure you guys check it out. It's on Reels. They did not tell me to plug it. I'm plugging it because I believe in the show. But next, what I want to do is I want to break down what we're going to do is we're going to break down 2 different high-risk situations that officers are in, because I believe that sometimes as officers we can move a little fast when we're dealing with high-risk situations, and you're going to see how these officers in this next video operate a little bit faster than I recommend, and in the next video I'm going to show you, we're going to see how these officers chose to slow it down. Let's watch the first one and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So just so you guys are aware of what you're watching, this officer is chasing this suspect. He is wanted for a homicide. Obviously, they went to go detain him. He doesn't stop. He keeps going. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to fast forward a little bit to where they deploy spike strips on this guy because, there's nothing much exciting about this pursuit until the spike strips come out. So let's just go ahead and fast forward to that right about now.
Hands. Let me see your hands. I would wait for that. Hands. Show me your hands. Hands. No. Show me your hands.
So I'm going to fast forward now a little bit more just because once these vehicles come to an end, you're really not going to see them engage right away. You don't really see it until you see the other angle. So I'm going to fast forward to the other angle so you can see what the officers do the moment they go ahead and bring their vehicles to a stop.
Can you talk to us, please?
You're supposed to execute me.
Just drop the knife, man. Just want to talk. Just want to talk.
On the ground. On the ground.
Don't move. Don't move. Drop the knife.
Put it down now.
Drop the knife.
Put it down now.
So the suspect has a knife in his hand. He's clearly not complying with the officer's instructions. They try to triangulate on him. One of them has a taser in their hand. The other officers have their firearms in their hand. And at some point in time, he makes a movement towards the officers when they elect, and that's when they elect to utilize deadly force. What I'm going to do is I'm going to now show you the other body cam footage of the officers. And this is what I mean when I talk about slowing things down and speeding things up. So let's watch the body cam and we'll kind of discuss that.
Hands. Let me see your hands. I would wait for that. Hands. Show me your hands. Hands.
No.
Show me your hands.
Area 51. Show me your hands now. Area 51, I got a knife. Show me your hands. Taking the knife out. Get your hands up.
Get your hands up.
Get your hands up now. 6 I'm right. He's armed with a knife.
Don't move. Don't move.
Going off the tip from the back.
Drop the knife. Drop the knife. Guy, drop the knife. Can you talk to us, please?
You're supposed to execute me.
Just drop the knife, man. Just want to talk. Just want to talk.
On the ground. On the ground.
Don't move. Don't move. Drop the knife.
Put it down now.
Drop the knife.
Put it down now. Drop the knife. Drop the knife. Drop the knife.
So as you can see at some point at the very end of the video, the suspect turns towards the officers with the knife, and that's when they elect to utilize that deadly force in order to stop that threat. What I want to do briefly is I want to go back to the moment that this officer gets out of his car, because we can see what happens at this point since the officer has a body cam on. As we're watching his body cam, you see they stop the vehicle and he gets out of his car. Now, this is just one of the things that I like to discuss, because at this point, I'm going to pause it right here at, look, what time is this? I'm going to pause it right here at the 4:40 mark. And in my personal opinion, I think the officer's too close. And again, this is not Monday morning quarterbacking, but this is like, hey, if we had to do these things differently, how could we do it differently? In my personal opinion, I think that the officer should have stayed back, wait for other officers to arrive, and maybe start doing a surrounding call out of that car to bring that guy back to the officers. Because you're dealing with a homicide suspect, and because you're dealing with a homicide suspect, you know he's dangerous. You know he's capable of doing, committing some acts of violence towards the officers. And you don't know whether or not he has a knife, a gun, or whatever he has in that car. So when you're coming out there, I just think that in this scenario, the officers may have rushed it a little bit. And again, this is nothing negative towards them, because they did a great job stopping that threat eventually. But it's just like, hey, how could we potentially learn to do things or prevent these things from occurring in the future? And I think by slowing it down a little bit, once that car came to a stop, do a surrounding call out, get other units there. And if that guy does bail from the vehicle, you either go after him at that point in time, or you get a bird up in the air. But the reason I share those tactics with you is simply because I'm going to show you another video that is kind of similar in the sense that they get into a vehicle pursuit with this guy after an initial contact. But the comparison will be is how they conducted their stop once that vehicle came to an end. So let's go ahead and go to that video now. And just so you guys know, in this video, what you're going to see is, let me wrap it up. That last video, the suspect, they end up trying to render aid to him. He ends up succumbing to his wounds. And then there's that. Fast forwarding to this video, this officer conducts a traffic stop for a vehicle code violation. You're going to notice that everything seems like it's going according to plan until it's not. Let's check it out.
Hey, come on over here for me, man.
Outside, my phone dropped.
You good? Let's get over here. We ain't in the road. So, take police. The reason why I'm pulling you over, you got tail light out.
It's not out, it just got tape on it.
You can't see that thing at all.
My bad. If you pull it off, it's on.
What happened to it? It's just broke?
Car wash did that.
Man, what car wash you go to?
The little car wash, like down on 74.
Which side? Which side 74? Towards like Airline, or you talking about back towards like St. Gabriel?
No, close by like what it is. Almost right there by Dutchtown, by the school.
The one across from Harvest?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Make sure I stay away from that one so I don't break your headlight or none.
Yeah, I usually try to wash it myself. It just happened like about a week ago.
Damn.
It just happened, sir.
I got you.
I'm going to pick my wife up from work.
Is it your car?
Yes, sir.
Registered to you?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. You got your license on you now?
It's in the car.
All right, cool. You gonna grab it for me?
Yes, sir.
So one of the things I want to highlight really briefly is that it seems like everything is going good. Like the officer's being super chill with the guy, asking him, hey, what's wrong with your taillight? Even the suspect at this point in time, he's super cool. He's explaining to him what happened to the car. Everything seems fine, right? But how many videos have you guys seen me make where I say something could go from 0 to 60 in a heartbeat? This is going to be one of those videos, and you're going to see right now.
Look, before we go reaching any guns or anything in the car?
No, sir.
Perfect. Go ahead and grab it for him.
As the trooper and Nicholas walked to the open driver's door of the Saturn, the trooper smelled the odor of marijuana emitting from inside the vehicle and observed a semi-automatic pistol with an extended magazine on the driver's side floorboard.
Hey, come back here. No, get out the car. Come here. Get out the car. Turn around for him, put your hands behind your back. All right. So right now, you're just being detained, okay?
Stop! Get out! On your way!
So you guys see how fast that happened? It literally happened in a blink of an eye. The officer recognized that the suspect had a gun on the floorboard. And remember, the suspect said there was no guns in the car. So clearly he was trying to hide that. The moment the officer went to go detain him in handcuffs, that's when the suspect was like, hey, look, I'm not going to jail for whatever reason. There's probably more to this than just meets the eye, simply because this is not normal behavior by anyone. But let's watch the other angle from the trooper's vehicle to see how this unfolded.
Stop! Get the ball! Get out! On your way!
So you're going to notice he loses his body cam. He's now running to his car to to pursue this vehicle. Shot obviously multiple times. He shot at the car multiple times. The suspect is not shot. I mean, the officer is not shot. Sorry.
Immediately pursued. Approximately 1.5 miles north of the original location, the vehicle stopped in the roadway.
Tail lights out, heading north of 431. Be stopping near dead lane.
So I want to stop it right here for you guys really briefly as this suspect vehicle comes to a stop and the officer pulls his vehicle behind it. In the last video that I showed you guys, when the officers were chasing that suspect, as soon as the suspect vehicle came to a stop, the officers immediately approached the driver's side of the vehicle. In this scenario, you're going to notice that the officer slows it down and he waits for a partner to get there, his partners to get there, and they do what's called a surrounding call out, which means, hey, we're going to try to call him back to us, a high-risk traffic stop. The reason he's conducting a high-risk traffic stop is because he knows this guy is dangerous. He had a weapon in the car. The guy tried to leave the officers. And so now the officers are like, hey, look, this guy is dangerous. This right here is way more advantageous to the officers than approaching that driver's side door very, very quickly to try to get that suspect into custody. We have to sometimes slow things down. Let's continue to watch what they do during this high-risk traffic stop and how it ends.
Get out of the car!
He hit.
1050.
Drive!
He hit.
1050. Suspect stop near Prescott Drive.
Drive! Get out of the car!
During this portion of the video, the trooper continues to give loud verbal commands as he waits for backup to arrive. For time purposes, this portion of the video has been sped up.
So it appears that this officer is waiting for a while. There's nothing wrong with that. Nobody else is in the vehicle. Officer has complete time on his hands. Nothing that tells him he has to rush up to that vehicle really quickly.
Other additional units are going 1097.
One thing I will say, if you're an officer watching this video, something to keep in mind is if you're approaching or if you're coming to this, as a person, the original officer, so the officer we've been watching, he should probably be telling his vehicles where to approach from. Like, hey, we're facing eastbound. Car is facing the eastbound lanes. So if you're approaching, approach from the rear, because the last thing you want is two things. Number one is you don't want crossfire issues with your officer that already has his gun out as you're driving up on scene. And number two, if you're approaching where that vehicle, that suspect vehicle is at, if that guy is still in there alive or whatever it may be, he could shoot at you as you approach. So that's one thing to keep in mind as you're approaching one of these high-risk traffic stops, is make sure you give the orientation of where the vehicles are facing and then guide your partners in there so they're not in any other danger. Let's finish the rest of this video and then we're going to go to the last one.
Assisting troopers and deputies arrived on the scene and made contact with Nicholas, who had sustained critical injuries. Responding units requested emergency medical services and administered CPR. Nicholas was transported to a local hospital where he was later pronounced deceased.
And there you guys have it. You guys hear the end of that situation. Suspect ended up passing away later at the hospital. But this was a great training video that officers can watch. But if you're a civilian watching this, you kind of understand the mindset of what we think about as officers, especially when you're dealing with dangerous people like this. And on top of that, how fast it went that bad. Like, 1 minute the guy is cool talking about he messed up his taillight at the car wash. The next minute he's reaching for a gun in his car. So you just never know who you're dealing with as officers. You always got to keep your head up. Our last video I want to show you guys tonight, I thought was a really, really good one. So the reason why I think this is so good, how many times have we seen videos where a suspect does something that they shouldn't be doing, and then, like, say, i.e. they point a gun at officers or they point a weapon at officers, the officers end up killing them or shooting them or whatever it may be, and now they're suing the department, and the family's saying, oh, he's such a good kid, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, why are they not holding the kid or whoever, the suspect, accountable, making it seem like it was all the officer's fault? In this scenario, I don't know the background of this, but what I can gather from the video is that there was some type of altercation that the suspect got in with this off-duty officer. The off-duty officer utilizes deadly force, ended up taking the life of this young man. But the thing I want to key in on is, we're not going to watch the video of the force, is how the family responded of the suspect that was involved in this altercation, and how this really should set the example for so many other people that are involved in situations like this. Let's watch the video. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
We wish it wouldn't have transpired that way, and it did. And my nephew, he made a decision that he should not have made. And that's just something we have to live with. Him as a person, he was a son, a brother, a grandson, a nephew, a little brother to someone, my son, Jeffrey. You know, a lot of times y'all hear about how good an individual was, but their actions don't depict who they were. But in this case, that's really who he was. That day, you know, just a bad decision. And now we have to live with that forever. That's something we have to accept. We're going to accept. Again, we thank the Milwaukee Police Department, everyone who came out. You know, we've seen Von them out here, you know, like the community really came out. We didn't want anyone to riot, get to, you know, going off about anything. We just really wanted to know and keep things settled because...
Man, I love this family because they are taking accountability for the actions of their family member. And one of the things that she said that is so true is the fact that sometimes the actions don't necessarily depict the person who they were. Now, I know sometimes it's easy for us to rip on people, especially when they put up the graduation photo and the photos that look at them all happy and joyous after they did some heinous act. And a lot of us say they try to put up the best photos, and that has nothing to do with the person that they were. But one of the things I like the fact that she said is like, hey, look, like, his actions did not depict the person he was. And we got to be realistic. Like, I have a lot of family members that are good family members around me and at the parties, and, you know, but who they are outside doesn't necessarily mean that they weren't good to me or I don't love them as a family member. So she's basically acknowledging the fact that they loved him as a family member. They loved him as a nephew or whatever he was to people, but she didn't negate the fact that he was out there doing behavior that he shouldn't be doing. And that's what we need to see. And so what we're going to see next is we're going to see the part where we're going to see right now the part where the attorney kind of gives a depiction of what they witnessed in the video, and also more accountability on behalf of the family. And this is, I just love it. If we saw more of this, I guarantee you we wouldn't see all the nonsense that we see in our community. Let's watch the rest of it.
The off-duty officer followed right behind. Elijah did get out of his vehicle, as did the off-duty officer. Elijah did kind of point to the front end of the off-duty officer's vehicle, kind of alleging that you hit me and caused some type of property damage to the vehicle. And what we see next on the video is that Elijah did have a firearm. He does pull it out, and the video in which myself and his mother Pam did watch today is he does slap the off-duty officer with the firearm. After which the video does depict Elijah pointing the firearm at the off-duty officer, and the off-duty officer did respond what we believe in accordance with his training.
Kudos to this attorney. Kudos to this family. My heart breaks for this family because it is not the fault of the family of the actions of that kid, Elijah. And I don't know what he did, obviously, but he did something that cost him his life. Sounds like he pointed a gun and hit an off-duty officer. But kudos to this attorney, because that is a hard thing to do, is to stand up there and tell the truth. And the reason I say it's hard is not because it's hard to tell the truth, but with all the political pressures going on, with as easy as it is to get money because of lawsuits, even though you know you're in the wrong, you still stood up there and you told the truth, even as difficult as it was. And kudos to that family, as hard as it was to sit up there and say that my son or my nephew made a wrong decision, they still did it and it was the right thing to do. So kudos to that family. I can't underestimate that or underscore how thankful and grateful I am for what they did, even in the midst of their own tragedy. Because if it was Benjamin Crump would have been up there and be like, well, I don't know if he had a firearm in his hand. We saw the video, but we can't necessarily confirm at this time that it was a firearm. Or he would have said something like, oh, well, you know, this off-duty officer, he threatened my client, and that's why my client responded and pistol whipped the officer and he raised a gun up. He would have been making excuse after excuse after excuse. Why? Because he was trying to get paid. He wanted a payday. But so this attorney right here, he absolutely deserves a raise. And this family right here, they are setting the example of what true accountability looks like. So you know what? I tip my hat off to them. I tip my hat off to them, because if we have more of this, then we won't be seeing as much of the polarization. And this is where true unity stands. This is where true unity starts. The fact that this family was able to thank the Milwaukee Police Department, because it sounds like they supported them. Nobody, like I said, death sucks. Even when your nephew or somebody in your family does something ignorant, it still doesn't mean it's easy to get over. It's easy to cope with. No, it's not easy, but it makes it easier to move forward together as a community and as one unit. When you start holding ourselves accountable, it makes it easier for people to come together and start figuring out how can we prevent these things from occurring in the future. So my hat's off to this family. My hat's off to that attorney. I don't know who that attorney is, but thank you. And for all of you guys that watch this episode of the show, thank you guys so much for supporting this channel. If you guys like these episodes, if you guys like my show, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and most importantly, turn on those notification bells, because when you guys support this channel, it supports me and it allows me to continue to bring you guys the latest and greatest content. So not only can we learn together as a community and as a profession, but so that way we can move forward in unity together as a community. So thank you guys so much. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Take care and God bless.